So then I've used the frilling tool to make a little bit of an indentation down that side just to look like his leg is bending up because it is.
All right.
So we've stuck him on, and then we're going to do the same for the other side.
Okay. It looks like you've got two little lines for the indentations. Is that something you did for both sides?
No, I think what ended up happening is when I stuck it on and I moved it up, it bended a little bit more.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I mean you can make two lines if you like, or you can leave it as one. Yeah.
Okay. I think it looks cute that way.
Yeah. And then the other side.
Okay.
And then his little feet, so they're just little teardrop shapes. And then I've bent it slightly so you can see again they form that little pea shape or that little golf club shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stick it on.
Okay.
And then for the arms, I rolled a long teardrop shape. And then I flattened the ends so it's more of a cone shape.
Okay.
And then I've used the frilling tool to kind of dig and create an indent for the hand. So all you want to do is stick it in, and then usually I just twist it a little bit so it creates kind of like a divot.
Oh, okay. And is that other little ball, is that for the other arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I create the divot so that the hands can sit inside. Because if you notice that with the feet, they're sitting directly on top of the leg, so it's okay. But with the hands, because they need to hold on to something, they need to be anchored into the arm piece. So for the hands, I rolled two teardrops again, and then flattened slightly. And all I've done is cut a little V. So you're cutting this V out so that you've kind of got little mittens. And you'll notice that, it is a teardrop shape, so that little peak at the end where it's a teardrop shape will go into the divot of the hand.
Okay. And that's what we'll attach.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way to attach, little pieces like that that otherwise might fall.
Yeah. So well there's attached. So I've just put a little bit of water and just attached it in there.
Okay. Do you always use water to attach things, or do you?
Mostly, yeah. So you see in the previous picture I've got my water brush, which I love. And that's pretty much all I use. I hardly use sugar glue or anything like that unless I'm dealing with flowers. Yeah, so my little blue water brush there.
Okay. And that's just one that you can actually fill it with
Yeah,
water.
with water. So it's actually for I think water painting or watercolors. Yeah, you can get it at an art store or a cake decorating store and you can fill it and you can use it. And it's so easy. You don't have to keep refilling your cup with water or, have a chance of like knocking it over on the
Knocking the
table.
water over because some people are clumsy like me.
Yeah, it happens. So there it is. I've attached it to the monkey. So I have put water where the arm is touching the shoulder and also a bit of water where the hand is touching the feet. So at this stage, if you find that things are like not holding together, like if if the hand keeps coming off the arm or keeps falling down, what you can do is stick a little bit of tissue between that little gap there, and it will hold it up in place until it dries.
Okay. All right. And is this a size that it's not too big that you can actually do everything all at once, or do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sit and rest? I'm sorry, my nose is
No,
itchy.
yeah, you can do the beauty of styrofoam as well is that you don't have to wait for, the form or the structure to dry underneath. I did that all in one day. So you can do it, yeah. And even if it's a little bit bigger, you can still do it all in one day.
Okay. And how big would you say this guy is from?
Mm, Good question. He's about maybe 4 inches, 3.5 to 4 inches tall, I
Okay,
guess.
that's a
Yeah,
good size.
yeah.
Okay. And then we've got the
And then
tail.
his little tail. So I've made his tail towards the end because I still need it. I need it firm, but I also still need it a little bit pliable so that um, when I put it against him, it can still have a bit of movement if I need to adjust. So I've just made it into like a little S shape and I've let it dry slightly.
All right.
So while it's drying, I made the hair, and the hair is just little pieces of fondant that I've rolled into teardrop shapes, and I've stuck them together with the pointy side up,
Okay.
and then stuck it on top of his head.
I love the little hair. That's very cute.
And then for his ears, I've rolled out two ball shapes and I've flattened it. And then with a balling tool, I have indented it. So you can see that the ball tool is more on one side than on the other. So that, because the skinnier side, I'm actually going to cut off, and the thicker side is going to form the rim of his ear.
Okay. It's a really quick and easy way to do an ear.
Yeah. And then see, I've cut off a little bit at the end so that I can stick it onto the head.
Mm-hmm.
And then stick it on with a little bit of water, and I've just flattened it a little bit so that it's not like a lump that has come out of his head. It's more like a gradual piece that's coming out.
Uh-huh. It's very good.
And that's his other ear.
So cute. I love how he's holding on to his toes. That's super
Yeah. Well, I got this inspiration from a little cartoon I think I saw online somewhere, and it was just too cute. Um,
I love that.
so, for his eyes, two black pieces of fondant into an oval. I find a lot of times with eyes, people tend to go overboard. You always need a lot less than what you think you need. So if you hold it there and it's bulging out, it looks really weird. So what you want to do is have less, but flatten it to make it bigger if you need to, so it comes out just a little bit, but not like bulging.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing about once you like this way of placing the eyes is that you'll find that you'll see that when you place them together, he has a different personality. If you put them a bit further apart, he looks different again. So everything has a different personality.
Yeah,
I've used
either bigger or smaller. Or...
Yeah, yeah, and if I do it in a class kind of setting, it's really interesting because everyone starts out with the same thing, but at the end, everyone's figurines always have different personalities to it.
Uh-huh.
Really interesting. Here I've just used the AmeriColor white gel paste, and all I've done is dipped the end of a skewer in there, and I've dotted it on the eyes just to add some shine to it. And then the skinnier end to add a second dot. And then I've also used a bit of petal dust just to give him a bit of a blush. Now with the blush, you want to go easy because it's quite hard to remove if you go too strong. So usually I put it on a paper towel, and then I use a brush, like a puffy brush, and I kind of dip it in the dust, and then I would dust off the extra on the side of the paper towel before I actually go and put it on the face. Because if you do it slowly, it's better than giving him too much at one time. If you give him too much at one time, it is possible to take it off. Like you can wipe it off with water, but it's just a hassle. So it's better to go easy. Like when you're doing your face, you want to go easy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And then that's him going into the cake. So you can see how big he is in relation to that cake. That cake is actually a 6-inch cake.
Okay.
So it takes up most of the top of that cake. And you want to insert him in. Now, it's better if the skewer, especially if you're planning to do it all out of fondant or gum paste where it's really, really heavy, it's better that that skewer goes all the way down to that bottom of that cake so that there's no possibility of the figurine sinking. But if you're doing it out of styrofoam, not too bad. You can, make the skewer long enough so that it will hold. So you want to go halfway down like that, and then we're going to insert the tail. So we're going to insert the tail here. Notice how it goes a little bit under his bum. So a bit of water there. And then the part where it's just about touching his head, I've put a bit of water there so it sticks to the head. So the tail has 2 anchor points, and it's not just sticking out on its own.
That's really good because a lot of times tails are
Yeah, they're the first thing that breaks.
exactly in the transport. You get there and the tail's gone.
Yeah, or someone pokes it, what's that? And you go, no.
Yeah, exactly. Because that will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and there he is. He's all done.
And he's so adorable.
Thank you. And this shape that you learn to do, like this round and oval shape, is the basis of a lot of my figurines. So even in the crafty classes, you'll see like when I do my penguins and stuff like that, the body is an oval, the body is a egg shape, and then the head is a round. And I build a lot of my figurines off those kind of shapes. And with this technique that we've done with the styrofoam, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. You can do like little babushka dolls. You can do like big penguins, anything really that has that round and ovally shaped body.
Very nice. Yeah, and like I was saying at the beginning, that having you wouldn't think to have, a larger head than the body normally, just because, in real life that's not the way
Yeah,
proportions work. But if you
exactly.
want something really cartoony and cutesy, especially if you want it to look young,
Yeah,
that big head.
yeah, makes it look really cute.
Yeah, very, very cute. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, well, and before we get on to, oh, and there's another angle of him. I love
Yeah.
the dogs. That just was perfect touch.